Salisbury Center, we are ready for our next fight. Making his way to the cage and fighting out of the red corner, it's Robert Straight.
Robert Straight, 5'6", 168 pounds, at 19 years old, fighting out of 9 Realms MMA in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Excuse me. This is his MMA debut tonight, but he is the teammate of Malcolm Houchel, who fought earlier as well. He trains under Josh Thompson, who's a pro Muay Thai fighter, and it's an affiliate of Disciple MMA now, which is fantastic. With that said, coming in at 5'6", at 170 pounds, he's going to be very undersized to his opponent.
So you have no choice but to get in the pocket if you're 5'6" as a welterweight.
Yeah, and it's normally I don't sweat too much of the in size, and it all matters. But when you see somebody who's again 5'6" at 170 pounds going against somebody who's 6 feet tall, there's just a frame difference there as well.
Yeah. Now at 5'6", it's not necessarily as if Robert is like a rock,
Right.
He has a lot of weight he could lose, and to be honest, if just off the visual, I could definitely see him being at 155 or even smaller, but it's one of those things where maybe you might be waiting until you get deeper into your career before you actually want to start cutting weight. But with some training, we never know. Maybe he was coming down from like 205 or something.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, he might be well on his way, and just because he's, again, 5'6", he might have power like you wouldn't believe about Roy Nelson.
That's true. He does have a hell of a dope tattoo on his stomach.
Plus that mullet?
That's from, no, it is dope Naruto tattoo. The mullet is cool too, but the Naruto tattoo is even cooler.
All right, we're going to throw it to Chris Fuller for the next call out.
And his opponent, making his way to the cage and fighting out of the blue corner, it's Richard Jacobs.
Richard Jacobs, 6 feet tall, 167.8 pounds was his official weigh-in. He's 34 years old, fighting out of Gustavo Machado, BJJ. He's 0-3, however, that was all the way back in 2017. So it really has been quite a long time since he's last competed, and you could almost look at this like it's a new debut.
To be honest, whenever if it's 6 years in between, I feel like sometimes when I'm getting back in the octagon, it's like I'm just doing this again for the first time. Now that's with a few months in between. At 6 years, you really are doing it for the first time. The whole game has changed. There's new kids here doing new techniques and new moves. It's like you're basically starting all over.
Yeah, and the question really is, has he been training, or did he take a break? Did life get in the way, and then he just recently got back, and he's getting back after it again?
Definitely. And to be honest, too, although we're saying the game has changed, in 6 years, he's probably changed, too. This might be a completely different fighter.
Well, speaking of completely different fighters, we got some great news for you here coming out in October. Is that correct? You want to share that with the team?
Yeah, I'll be fighting Edson Barboza in the UFC. We haven't picked a location yet, but it's October 14th. It's a really big show. Edson's a great big name, as you guys already know, and I can't wait to get back in there.
Fantastic. I got more questions for you after we throw it to Chris Fuller for the official call-out.
Salisbury Center, this bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in the CageZilla welterweight division. It is brought to you by our friends at Blue Label Customs. Customize your life. And Ace Party Rental. They've got you covered. Check them out at acepartycentral.com. And now, starting out, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5'6" and weighing in at 168 pounds, fighting out of 9 Realms MMA, it's Robert Straight. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 foot tall and weighing in at 167 pounds, fighting out of Gustavo Machado, BJJ, it's Richard Jacobs. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in the CageZilla welterweight division. This is brought to you by Blue Label Customs and Ace Party Rental, and your referee is Gabriel Balachit.
Both cage doors close, and Gabriel gets the guys ready for the slight delay on the cage doors closing. And both fighters are off. They're going to touch gloves, and here we go.
And now, to be honest, it might be because Richard has kind of a low stance. The height difference isn't as big as it looks on paper, And nice level change right away.
Big power right there, huh?
Yeah, big level change, big pickup, big slam. And right now, when we're on the ground, the height difference no longer matters.
You're absolutely right. And you're seeing some good pressure here from Robert Straight.
Oh, nice. He's looking for an armbar right away. He just has to break the angle a little bit. He's throwing his leg. Oh, that is tight. The big slam. Man.
Oh, big right hand.
Big right hand. Roberts is explosive, like you were saying before. You know, at that height, at that weight, you know, you might be compact and very, very powerful.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, I thought he was jammed up in that armbar, but when he broke that and then followed up with a right hand, I like that. That's good, aggressive fighting.
Yes, it was right on to the next transition. As soon as one was over, you're going right on to the next move. And it looks like he is, okay, at first I thought he was trying to lock up a guillotine, but he's maintaining a good position, you know, good transitions. And what I like about Roberts is in between his transitions, he's constantly looking for strikes and getting ready for the next move.
That's right. You know, we were in my first fight of the night. One of the issues that I found with Jay was he just wasn't able to strike when he was on top.
Yes, and that's what we actually addressed that. We was like, they were doing a little bit too much positional jiu-jitsu. It was either as if we was wrestling, doing jiu-jitsu, or striking, but never all three at the same time.
Which is so crucial in MMA, and we're seeing that right now at a Robert Straight. I mean, this is fantastic work.
Yeah, and very compact, man. And this is the thing for the shorter guys. When they do get on top, man, they're a hassle to deal with. And Robert is kind of giving him space right now to come up. He another good right hand. That's the second time he's landed that. Those right hands are powerful.
Look at that.
It looks like Richard might be close to getting out of here, man. He has to hold on, or else the referee's going to stop it.
He's going to stop it right here.
He's going to. He moved right at the last second. The referee came very, very close to stopping this fight. And with 1 minute left, man, I think Robert Straight's going to get this finish here with a full mount, dropping down powerful elbows.
The refs are calling for it. That was that.
Wow. Yes, that was a very, very impressive performance by Robert Straight.
Robert Straight, you look just fine at 170.
Definitely.
I apologize for any doubts I might have had.
Definitely. Very impressive performance by Robert Straight. Very powerful in there. Great level change. Great slam. And he'll give him a little bit of space to try to come up. And every time he'll try to come up, he will meet him right with that straight right hand and bring him right back down. And he finishes the fight in full mount. And Richard is still not back up.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what, man.
Oh, Richard is leaking bad. I think a couple of those elbows was able to break through.
Yeah. That ref really let him take a couple extra shots there. And Michael Dolman and Ronnie were calling for the ref to stop the fight. And he really there was just a few too many there that went through.
Definitely.
But hats off to Robert Straight, man. I love that strategy, right?
Yeah.
He was so explosive, so powerful. When Richard would get up, firing that right hand, I mean, that first one he landed was just phenomenal.
It was money. Every single one of them he landed, you know, and he has so much explosiveness. Now he's on his feet, going right down at you, and you're coming up at the same time. You guys are meeting in the middle. It's like 100% of his power every time.
And Sadiq Schuyler's down here saying that win was 100% because of that belly tattoo.
100%. As you know, anybody that recognizes that tattoo knows the inner spirit, the inner demon he has in there for extra chakra.
Yeah. Yeah, the energy healing was in full effect. Man, I don't know if it was the belly tat or if it was the mullet, but either way, Robert Straight,
it's a combination of both. You know, he has the mullet for the top of the head and then the inner demon for the soul.
There you go.
Only a UFC fighter can talk about that without being called a nerd.
That's the one thing about being able to fight. You can live life as you want.
Right. Excellent. And it looks like Richard's actually still down over there. He had a pretty good cut, and
like you said, man, especially even before he got mounted, he was taking a lot of damage. I thought the referee was going to step in a little bit earlier, but as soon as the referee was about to step in, to be fair, he did give a slight bit of movement, but this is still amateur. I wouldn't be mad to stop amateur fights a bit earlier.
Right, and I think, that's one of the things that Ronnie and Michael do so well. Adam Sawyer is another great one. They're aware, like, hey, listen, you're going to go out, you're going to get the full experience, but ultimately we're going to make sure that you don't get hurt. There's no reason to push this too much further.
Yes.
And I think we found a situation where, keep in mind, it's amateur MMA. It's also, this ref is new. He's learning the game, and he just had made a mistake, and I think that happens, and he'll learn from it. And it was just being a little too slow on that trigger at this level, when you're dealing with a guy and they're jammed up and they're covering up. There's no harm in calling.
Yeah, definitely. And to be honest, especially with amateur careers, you want them fighting as often as possible. So if it's okay, you take this one loss on your record, but you're able to fight again in a month. That's better for you than trying to go out on your shield.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, man, hats off to Robert Straight. It looked like he was so comfortable in there.
Definitely.
That
man.
instantly I was thinking to myself, man, maybe I spoke too soon. I do think now that we've seen how explosive he is,
Yeah.
maybe 155 is in his future. You know,
for sure.
He came in quite a few under that 170 plus the allowance. So, he gets to 155. That's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, and even looking at his body type, he might be one of those guys that was even bigger before, and he's now making his way down.
You were saying that earlier.
And with more training, with more time, it's probably going to naturally come off to where 55 will be his home for sure.
Right on. Well, let's talk a little bit about you, Sadiq. So first off, how's the back feeling?
A lot better, man. Knock on wood. Last time I talked to you, it went
we were texting about it after, and I was like, oh, Jesus, I hope I didn't jinx you.
Yeah.
I try to bring good luck.
Yeah, things have been going great, That's why we scheduled the fight in October. That way, if anything goes wrong, we have healing time in between, There's enough time for us to be able to get to a fight nice and healthy.
Good. And it looks like there's actually, I heard from the production truck that it was a crack in the back of the head. So I'm not sure how that happened. You never know. It could have been in transition. It could have been on the cage.
Or that slam out of that arm bar.
It could have been that as well.
That was a big slam.
But Richard, actually, he looks fine as much as he was bleeding. And
just a little bit of blood,
Yeah. Hey, listen, it's part of the game, right?
It's a part of the game. It's nothing we're not used to.
But he's communicating. He seems okay. So it is what it is. Good to see him on his feet. And it looks like Chris Fuller's going to get everybody squared away here for the official call-out.
Nice. Fifth bout before we got some blood in the octagon.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Gabriel Balajit has called a stop to the action just 2 minutes and 5 seconds into the very first round. For your winner, by knockout, out of the red corner, it's Robert Straight.
Robert Straight, your winner by knockout. Absolutely fantastic performance. Man, oh man. You know what? You got a new fan. You got at least 2 fans right here.
Definitely.
And we're going to see a quick interview from Skylar Lanier.
Yo, that's sick as fuck.
Wow, I think I can speak for all of us that we are completely blown away by your fight tonight. I think it was mainly having to do with the seal, but I want to know how you feel.
Honestly, I just came into this and I wanted to know what it was like to cut somebody open with an elbow. So I just went for it, to be honest with you.
And how did you prepare for this fight?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
How did you prepare for this fight?
I did nothing but train. We did striking and striking our whole fight camp because I have the wrestling background and he didn't think I was going to struggle there. So he just had me striking and striking and striking. So my gas tank wasn't going nowhere.
Well, I think it paid off. It definitely paid off.
I was excited for this fight the whole time. I got nervous whenever I first pulled in, but then I took a nap and I was good.
All right, well, congratulations again.
Thank you, I appreciate you.
Back to you, Charles.
Like and subscribe to CageZilla.